Okay, so welcome everybody to my talk. Looking into the public, I see a few faces that I already know. I will talk today about centralizing field service operations across companies with Odoo. So the focus is mainly on how we can use the standard of Odoo with all the apps for companies that, or for a company that has multitude of subsidiaries. A few of you maybe already joined the talk of my colleague yesterday where he talked about field service in a nutshell on the standard. I today will a little bit take that part and put it on a use case of how we did it for multi-companies and also show you what the challenges and risks were when we worked with the companies. So you already see the agenda. We are starting with an overview of the challenges that we saw in this sector with the services that we implemented. Then I will show you a little bit about how we choose for the customer to use Odoo as this all-in-one solution with all the apps that it's offering. And I can give you a little bit an overview based on the experience that we have, how Odoo can help you to manage all the processes end to end. And of course, at the end, we have a little bit of a key takeaways, and I'm happy then to answer your questions. A little bit before I start about myself, Nadia Planic, my name. I'm manager of manufacturing team at Much. We are consulting on all the processes in regards of manufacturing and everything that goes into these processes. We are a team of 7 people, and we are, I think, active since 2018 with Odoo, coming also every year to the Odoo experience. You will have here the QR code so you can register to get the slides. I promise it's not something where you get a ton of emails, it's just the slides, and feel free to scan it to get your copy of it. I will wait a little bit for you to scan it. All right. There will be another QR code at the end, so don't be afraid if you didn't catch it. So let's start with the overview. There are a lot of companies, a lot of service branches that are using field services. For us, in the last 2 years, we had a lot of experience with companies that have plumbing services, that have actual field services where they offer like repair services and so on. We just listed a few of them that we worked in the last 2 years, so you can have an overview where we have our experience. Now let's see how the standard workflow is with all of those industries in the base. So all of them have a little bit of individual stuff, but mostly they have these 5 steps that they are going through. We are starting with a customer request. Most of the time, we have also ASAP services that need to be fulfilled as soon as possible, and the people are either calling in or making an email. Then we have the scheduling. Scheduling means we have the dispatcher who is going to plan based on what they have from the customer and make sure that the team is there. The delivery is the team is going out, doing the field service, checking everything, do the documentation, and putting down all the information. We're completing the order, and then we have the signature of the technician, maybe of the customer, and then we have the customer review. Based on the customer review, most of the time we are starting the invoicing. It's pretty simple workflow if you look at it, put it like when we put it on a slide, but most of the time you have gaps between all of those steps, and those need to be fulfilled. You need to be aware that this is simple if it's one company, but if you add multitude of companies, if it's some companies that you are buying, if you don't do the merger fulfillingly, they all have a kind of own variation of these processes. So the main difficulties that you have with one company is exponentially rising as soon as you have a multitude of them. So this is why we also have a little bit also of an overview, what are the risks that we see with this kind of implementation. First of all, with the customer requests. Most of the time it's with the phone. Somebody's taking notes in a book or some Excel sheets. They're doing it on the quick. So you have maybe a wrong phone number, a wrong address, maybe the name is not written correctly. And when it's a multitude of companies, you will have most likely one customer that is written in 10 different forms with 10 different addresses. Also, then based on this, you will have planning errors. You don't know where the technician has to drive to. You don't know what kind of vehicle you need to prepare, because maybe the on-site has a special delivery that needs a special vehicle to be implemented. Within the delivery, for example, worksheets are printed because and the worksheet is lost in the transportation, or they drop a coffee on it so you can see what was written on it. So that's all normal stuff that can happen in everyday life when you're working very manually, very like old-fashioned. Then we have the fourth challenges is the completion and review. Most of the time they don't have a tool where they can put down all the pictures they do of the on-site. They don't have a possibility to have the signature of the customer digitalized, which is having also impact on having the customer history behind it. So you don't have a possibility to connect this. And of course, and the last part is the result of all the challenges we have before. If you don't have all the information about time, usage of material, you are having the invoice problem that you're maybe invoicing too little. And where we always see this as a big solution is having a platform that is offering all-in-one. So you don't have to jump out of one system in the next one. In this case, of course, for us, the solution was Odoo, because Odoo with its apps is offering an all-in-one solution for all the sectors. So it doesn't matter in which branch you are doing this field service, Odoo is having the solution. Basically, if you attended any of the talks in the last 3 days, you probably saw all of these apps shown in the basics, in a nutshell. I'm just showing here an overview where we see different kind of stuff you can do that is needed for your business within Odoo in the certain apps. I'm not going too much into details, but feel free to reach out to us if you need any services on this. We are happy to talk about it. I think some of you already talked with me on the booth. So let's start with the first. You have with Odoo efficient operations and Odoo standard. So this is also something important to remember. We don't need to add stuff or add new modules in order to have a field service operation within Odoo. You can already start with a simple trifecta of field service, inventory, sales, purchase. So it's simple as that. Just have the configuration done correctly, and you already have the efficient operations that you are longing for. Then, second of all, a customer experience. As a field service company, you are doing customer service. So it is very important that your customer has a nice experience, that you also have from your side the possibility to look into what is this customer doing, or what did we do for them. So have the whole history. And this is a little bit where I'm gonna talk more, because this is getting more complex as you add companies in your Odoo. Because all of them are gonna work with pretty much a little bit of the same customer base. Maybe offering a different kind of service on a different point of the customer journey, but they're gonna work with the same customer. So for you, it would be important to have one customer object that they are all working on. So you have the knowledge that the address is correct, that the history is full, so that you are offering the full package that the customer needs, and you are then individual, that you can stand out from all the others that are offering the same service as you. I just pointed out some of the benefits you are getting by implementing the apps that we are seeing on the right side. I think the cooperation between having a sales, a help desk app, and also subscription ending up in field service is giving you a full completion of a customer journey. Starting with ordering, then also having to, having the chance to offer like a service, a help desk service for your customer where they can call, where they can interact with you, and also having a like a contracting tool where you can also have subscriptions and offering the services on a long term. And of course, in the end, everything is documented with a document app where you will have all documentation from your technicians, all the contracts that you have with the customer, and of course, it will smoother out the handovers for any kind of interactions between your companies in your ecosystem. And the third one is also very important from your side as a management in a management POV, where you, when you have a multitude of companies, are looking into, are my services profitable? Do I have a chance to grow with one of my companies? Where is the chances? How is it with my people that I have in my companies? Can I move around people to have a smooth transition, that I don't have a funnel in one company while the other company is low on people? So I also pointed out a few of the points that you are getting by involving accounting, project, dashboard, and planning, and also, of course, quality in standard with Odoo. So this is something that most likely when you have a multi-company is something you can benefit from, because it is something that is showing you data across all companies, but it's also giving you the chance to filter it out, so you can also make a little bit of impressions throughout all your ecosystem. Now let's see how this process looks end-to-end with Odoo. Just like as it is in standard, we are starting with a CRM. I know a lot of field services are most likely going to be as soon as possible, so without any preparation, without a customer involvement. But you still have the possibility to have a CRM tool, so you, even for those that are as soon as possible, you can put down the information afterwards, because it's going to be your customer history. What did they order? Who was the one who talked with your customer? And very important, when it's something that can be planned, you can move it across the companies. So if you see that it's a service, they call company A, thinking that this is the company that can offer you the services, but you say, it's not going to work out, you can push it to company B or C. So it is a nice starting point for you to organize your operations between the companies by having the CRM tool. What's the next step is logical step, creating the offer, where you define the delivery address, which is also impacting on the field service, which we're going to talk about later, and you will also have your products that you're offering. So you can already send it out and have the data in your system. Like I said, when you put down the sale order, you have the possibility to already define the delivery address. Why is it important? Because based on the products that you are having in your sale order, you can create automatically a field service task. This field service task will take over the delivery address, and basically if you configure it correctly, it will set up also the correct company. So if you have a centralized sales team for all of your companies, that's also something that can be automated. So basically, they can already create some information that will adjust the correct team to take over the technical part. From the field service task, you will all have also all the specific data that you are putting down in the sales process. You have the details about the on-site. What tools need to be brought, what kind of technicians are needed to fulfill the service, and also if material is needed to be taken on site. For example, if you have a machine that needs to be repaired, if you have a certain kind of material that is needed for this, that is not on stock, this would be also put down in the notes of the field service. So the technician, when he prepares for the on-site, knows that he has to take this information. If you look at the right-hand side, you will see that we have the customer information, we have the phone number, you have the planned date. This all information is important because also the technician needs to have this data when he's on-site to call the customer and have the communication information. This is also something that is simplifying the field service process. So you can make sure that all companies are using the same processes and jumping in on the right time if they're having a different point in the customer journey. Then we have also planning. So all of the tasks that are coming from the sale orders are open tasks for scheduling. You can either plan it within the company or move it around and assign it to a different company. So you are free to do it however you are needing it. As soon as you have planned it in, you have the possibility within Odoo, when you look in the left side, to look into the planning on a map. If it's international, like here it is, you see that how it is across Europe, and it's going to give you a little bit of an overview how the technician, how long he's going to be on site, and what is also very convenient, you can actually convert the route that you're seeing here into a Google Maps route. So they can just sit down in the car and start their journey. When they're on site, they have the possibility to track the time. They have the possibility to track all materials used. They have the possibility to add pictures, to add any worksheet informations if they need to have like a quality check on the machine that they're repairing. And everything they put down is going to be logged in real time. So dispatchers can already look in the background what they're currently doing. This is very important because they also can report if they have issues on site and need support from a different technician. So this is for the dispatcher also very convenient because then they can go into the overview of the plan that we looked into priorly and see if there's any team that is currently there across the companies. So we have one process, one planning, and we can always look into it right on time when we need it. And of course, as soon as we have the consummation, we are coming to the final part. The final part is either the customer signs on site that they are happy with the service that it's been provided, that is some kind of logging that they have taken over the service, and then you can start your invoicing process. As you see here, we have the material that was on-site consumed, so nothing of the material was in the invoice before. And based on the hours that he tracked, we have also the hours in the invoice. So everything that they are doing, we can re-invoice to the customer. And now the final part that is mostly for the management interesting. Everything I already showed you in the slides before is summarized in this kind of metrics that you're seeing here. They are consolidated across the companies. So you can see it for all of your ecosystem or for certain companies and filter it down on days, certain customers, and so on and so on. So we have an overview of work orders completed versus planned across the companies. You have the response and resolution times that is mostly for the customer interaction. And the final part is the utilization rate. So, what were the key takeaways in working with a multi-company association in field service operations? I mean, going through the slides, you apparently saw it. Field service is the key app that we are focusing because it is centralizing all the data needed to provide a seamless service for your customers. You have the worksheets, you have the task, and you have the on-site signatures, which is making it easier for you to have technicians that are more flexible going on-site. They don't have any sheets that they can just lose, or they have most flexible working environment for this. On the right side, you will see dispatching with the planning that we are having in Odoo, can see what the technicians we have across the companies and what is the knowledge that is needed, so they can see the skills of the technicians and assign the task properly. We have the invoicing based on the fulfilled services, and also we have, of course, the KPIs, that is reporting via dashboard where you can look into all the information. On the left side, as you see, we have all our customer requests and orders. You can see based on the customer how many times they ordered, if there was any kind of services they, for example, canceled, and basically make a little bit of your own strategy how you can approach your customers. And final part, we have the managing of inventory levels, not only within your inventory, but all of your cars that you are using for the services on site. So you also have an overview what is actually in the cars, not only inventory of material, but also all the machines, all the equipment that is needed for your services. And of course, as a final part, we have material procurement. So basically, we can set up rules for procurement that can be implemented as soon as some critical levels have been reached. From my side, I want to say thank you for your patience. And now you can see here the QR code. One is for the slides, and the other is for the questions. It's okay.
So we have a question. Can this all be done with the standard on Odoo online?
So all of this is pure standard. That was also the initiative of this talk, is to show it doesn't have to be complicated. We can use the standard. It's just about streamlining the processes within the companies.
How to plan tasks based on material availability?
Again?
How to plan tasks based on material availability?
Planned on material availability. I mean, as soon as the sale order is set, if it's something that has to be planned months in advance, if it's material-based, you already have set rules for the inventory levels, which will be triggered as soon as the sale order is planned. So it's not based on, the task is basically already in planning as soon as the sale order is confirmed.
Okay. How do you explain to the customer that the service report looks very ugly?
Maybe sit down with them and propose something where you can show that you have experienced what is giving you more benefits when interacting with the end customer. So don't say it's ugly, but give them a proposition, what in your experience is giving more benefits. Okay. Thank you again, and if you want, you can join us at the booth. We have really nice coffee.